Hi guys, Andy here, and welcome to this little demo and review of the Nomad Mini-Saturn Electro, which is by Faith, and it is a travel-sized guitar, so it's a little bit smaller than full size and a little bit narrower. And this style of guitar has become very popular over the last few years because of this artist called Ed Sheeran. I don't know if some of you guys have heard of him, but this is a style of guitar that is as close to his in spec-wise that Faith do. So what was the appeal to me about a travel-size guitar? Well, they're around 6 inches shorter typically than a full-size acoustic guitar, and that does make them, let's be honest, easier to transport, easier to travel with, easier to fit in the back of the car and still get your luggage in there if you're having a weekend away or something. They are a slightly smaller scale fretboard and neck, smaller scale body, and this means they fit a lot closer into your body. And I really believe that so many people kind of stop playing guitar because they have an idea in their head that you must learn first of all acoustic guitar before you can kind of progress or move on to electric, because electric can be seen as the more advanced instrument with people shredding guitar solos and things. And I feel that a lot of people probably don't practice or play guitar as much as they could because they just persevere with kind of a massive acoustic, which, you know, like this one here, may sound amazing, but is physically sometimes more demanding to play. And my first guitar was actually a crafter guitar, which has a plastic or bowed back, so it's a lot narrower guitar, and this really reminds me of that one. And I chose that one when I was first learning when I was 12 or 13 because it was easier to physically hold the thing. It didn't feel like I was, you know, hugging a bear when I was holding the thing. It sit close into my body and it felt more like an electric, which electric guitars are typically easier to play. So I believe these travel guitars, as they're called, are easier to play, especially for beginners. Now, I don't think that is why sort of Ed Sheeran chose it. I think, you know, only he can answer why he chose that style of guitar as his main instrument. However, I think it's a real plus point. And for that smaller size, they do still sound fantastic. Now, this particular one, as I say, it's an Electro, so it does have a pickup in it, and it plugs in, and that's part of the sound that you were hearing when I was playing then. I've also put a microphone on it as well to try and give as accurate a sound as I can. It's got a 3-way EQ, so bass, middle, and treble, volume, and a tuner. Now, it's a fairly basic unit, but it's pretty standard for this level of guitar, which is a mid-range kind of guitar. And if you're an absolute beginner, you know, this might be a little bit out of your price range, and you can see, you know, more details on prices and dealerships and things all in the links below. None of these are affiliate links, and I'm not being paid to endorse this at all. It is purely, they sent me a guitar and said, see what you think and use it in some videos. So as a bit of a thank you for that, I'm doing this video, you know, out of courtesy to them for sending it over, really. I love the finish. I love the sound, and the thing that does not come across in videos, or if you're just searching for photos online of guitars and you're thinking of purchasing one, is the detail of the finish, and, you know, the way the thing feels, and the tuning pegs, the way it stays in tune, things like that. And all of those things are pretty great on this guitar. And I have to be honest, they're absolutely superb on the Neptune, but that is a more expensive guitar. So I'll be doing a review separate to this video on the Neptune. But yeah, really stunning. The action and the relief on the neck means that when we play chords higher up the neck, everything seems pretty spot on. This one didn't come pre-set up, but the Neptune actually did. So obviously when you get into a higher price bracket, the guitars come pre-set up. But I really wanted to, more than anything in this video, just open many of you guys up to this travel size guitar, and make sure that you're aware that this is not seen as a child's guitar in any way, though they are super useful for kids because they are physically smaller, but they are seen as an adult professional guitar, great for, you know, touring musicians. I imagine, as I say, this is why, I can only hazard a guess, but why Ed Sheeran wanted one of these in the first place, because he could put it over his shoulder and travel on the tube and take them to America easier if he wanted to, because it is smaller, and it really fits in with that kind of busker mentality. But I can't really, you know, recommend this one enough. I can't say, you know, I've tried the Martin version and I've tried Ed Sheeran's guitar, and it is certainly comparable with that, but I think personal preference would say whether one is better or the other. I really think they're super evenly matched, and they're pretty much at the same price point as well. There are other travel acoustics that are much cheaper than this, that can kind of be half the price of this one. However, I haven't seen any with a good pickup in that are at a cheaper price range than this. And I really think these travel kind of guitars, unless you're just doing it as a real beginner kind of learner and you want to keep the price down, I really think it's worth spending that little bit extra and going with a guitar that you can plug in, because the sound of them, it is a little bit quieter than a standard acoustic, and it is a little bit thinner a sound, you know, lacking in bass somewhat compared to the massively bigger bodied guitars. You know, that's fairly standard. It's fairly obvious that that's going to be the case. That's just physics, really. But when you plug them in, and if you have a microphone on them as well, if you're recording at home or in the studio, they are really superb. So I'm going to give, you know, a little bit of a demo of a couple of things here. I'm going to show you how to play the riff from Hometown, which is one of my songs off my first album, just as a nice little excuse to do something a little bit different in this video. So I'll talk you through that a little bit and give you a demo of some of the sounds that this guitar can make. So that was a bit of a demo of Hometown, and we play it with a D major chord, and then we're hitting the D string like this. And it's for 1 bar of each, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to a D sus4 with your 4th finger down, and a D sus2 to a D major. And that is the main riff. 3, 4. And now I'm going to do some just general playing to, as I say, give you some examples of the sounds we can get out of this fine guitar.